I say that this market has stabilized so far in the last couple of days in anticipation the Fed's going to work harder to soothe these anxieties, but I still think they're going to have a ways to go from what we just heard from Daly. In fact, Jerome Powell, I think, is going to have to say that the Fed is willing to or maybe exploring adjustments to the current program where they buy $120 billion in assets and where rates are, maybe something like not necessarily taking actions like the Reserve Bank of Australia, but signaling that they would be willing to do something different. Joining me now, President of Bianco Research, Jim Bianco. And Jim, you actually think that the ECB is going to go beyond jawboning, which the Fed is trying to do, and take some sort of action here real soon, don't you?
Yeah, well, they've said they are. They're oiling up their printing presses and they're getting ready to go. They've expanded their bond buying program called the PEP, and some officials from the ECB have said that if need be, they're ready to start increasing their bond buying because they view the rise in interest rates. And remember, in Europe, that is going from minus 50 basis points to minus 30 basis points is too much, and it might retard the economic growth there.
So with that kind of pressure on Jerome Powell, and I'm sure a lot of last week wasn't bond vigilantes, but stock market taper tantrum, how important is it on Thursday that he gives some sort of signal that the Federal Reserve is at least willing to consider making adjustments?
I think it's somewhat important that he do that. And the reason I say somewhat and not critically important, because he doesn't want to also acknowledge that higher rates are in store in the future, that I see that they're about to go up a lot, and then I'm ready to stop it. Because one, he doesn't know if they're ready to go up a lot, and two, if they are, why would you want to stop it? Maybe that is the natural course of where they want to go. Remember, he has staked out a claim that higher rates represent confidence that the economic recovery is coming, although that's a bit of a debatable proposition.
All right. Well, all this sloshing around of money, one thing some people believe in, I've been talking about this commodity super cycle for a while. Initially, I was focused more on the farming economy, industrial metals, but it feels like it's a real thing. Your thoughts on this, and if we are in this super cycle, how long could it last?
Well, if it's a super cycle, it's just beginning because it's only been less than a year old or so. And you're right, commodities across the board, if it, as my friend Dennis Gartman likes to say, if you could drop it on your toe, it's going straight up. And that seems to be what's rallying quite extensively right now. And that can be kind of a mixed message. On some respects, it could mean that the global economy is recovering. It can also mean that inflation is coming too. It's hard to kind of discern the two.
Right.
But that second part, that it might mean inflation, I think can be very worrisome.
All right, we've got a minute to go, but I want to hear your bullish case, your very bullish case on Bitcoin.
My bullish case on Bitcoin is cryptocurrencies, not just Bitcoin. And what you see there, especially if you look into the protocols known as DeFi, decentralized finance, they're recreating the entire financial system. Now it's nascent and it's buggy and it's got problems, but they'll solve those. And what they're doing is they're creating a far more efficient financial system that could disrupt the current system of banks and brokerage, much like the ride-sharing companies disrupted the taxi companies as well, or the internet disrupted newspapers, or e-commerce disrupted retailing. It seems like financial services turn is in the spotlight now, and we have the tools through this DeFi and crypto world, although new and still has to be worked out, that it could do exactly that.
Jim, always appreciate these conversations, my friend. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks a lot.